Guys, we're back at it again. So I got a cheap Amazon torque converter. The one that was originally on here I took off and put on my mini bike because I was waiting for another one to come in for the mini bike, which is this one. I'm gonna get some video of the mini bike soon. This one is, I paid about 69 bucks. It's a Moosun. But anyway, so I'm just gonna put this back on so I can get this go-kart running again. My niece really enjoys driving it, but it's been down for a while because I recently built my friend a go-kart, and now I gotta put this one back together. So it takes four bolts, which are supplied with the torque converter. Oop. I'm gonna have to go crawl over there for that one. All you gotta do is line up there's some lines in there, but I've already done it a few times, so as long as the little center part is lined up, it should fall in pretty easy. Wow. In theory, everything's easy, and I mean, I'm sure a person could use Loctite, but the aluminum gets pretty hot and tightens them up pretty good. I haven't had a problem with them sliding out or anything like that. So, oh, that looks so good. That's gonna be 10 millimeter. I'm not gonna go ahead and not gonna blast them. I just like to get them threaded by hand, make sure they're in there good. Make sure that plate's all the way back. And I'll just blast them in with my impact, just where they're snug. And then I'm just gonna go back over them with the open end. And with the regular ratchet. I mean, you could torque them. I don't know what the specs are. I usually just I could fill these ones because I don't want to crack the plate. I'm sure some of you on there that know the exact specs, but this is just basically a little ripper. I've already bent a jack shaft in the past. Word of advice on these cheap Chinese ones: if you don't tighten it, if you tighten the chain too much and it's at a slight angle, it's gonna put pressure on this jack shaft and the bearing will start popping out, which I experienced. But you can get those on eBay for about 19 bucks with bearings and all the other parts, so it's not too bad if you do make a mistake. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do here, since I'm doing it with the chain still on and I didn't take anything off, I didn't really loosen the motor either. I'm gonna loosen it when I adjust the tightness. What you wanna do is get the sprocket as that keyway hole there. Let's go ahead and set it in there. And depending on where it's gonna line up, you might wanna pop it out and just get it lined facing to the top, the keyway hole. Slide the shaft on there. The jack shaft, and then you can go ahead and slide in your keyway. If I can find what I do, oh, there it is. That's your keyway that comes with the kit. That should line right up with your sprocket, and you'll feel it'll bottom out there. And then there's one more thing you gotta put in there. That's this washer that goes next. And you can go ahead and slide your jack shaft all the way out. And it'll bottom out in the back, you can feel it. Next, we're gonna take this pulley. That also goes over the jack shaft and keyway. There's a notch in there, slide right in there. That's the washer that goes over. And it uses a locking nut with a built-in locked washer there. We'll stick that on there. Okay, and and I believe it's a 15/16. So we'll hit it with the impact. Whoops, foul. One thing you really want to make sure is that you don't impact too hard, because it'll pull that washer that's on the back of the jack shaft off and the whole shaft will fly off. So now we got in good alignment there. I just have to unbolt my engine and give it a slight twist because I can see my chain's not fully straight on there. Okay, that's it for that. Our next step, this little washer right here goes over this shaft, the output shaft. And it's got a spacer. That's your next one you want to use. And then, I guess it's a clutch assembly type deal. Okay, and the easiest thing I found, this goes right over. It'll fall into that keyway. This is a little brass collar that the belt basically slides on when it's idling. Stick that on next. Okay. And what I found to do next is go ahead and put the belt on. And you're gonna see one side is grooved outward. That's gonna ride on the inside of this pulley. You can see the pulleys are flat on the back. So the flat side of your belt's gonna go in there. So I like to put it here first and then slide it over the brass collar. Bam, that's it. Okay, and in this basket here, what we wanna do is make sure you have this little indent sticking out. You can see the other side does not have it, it's flat. The flat part will go in there. That's usually how I do it, just stick it on there right away. Then next we can put this one on there. Okay, and then this one should line up with the flat part on there. If my hands are working, there we go. Okay, now we have this little locking, it's not a locking nut, but it goes in there to like lock it in position. It'll go into the keyway, you'll feel it right there drop in. Oops, anyway, so okay, so eBay supplies you with this bolt here. What I found out is that the thread's really short, so it'll strip out real easy. So I went to Tractor Supply and just got a 5/16 with 24 pitch thread. And this is a 2-inch bolt. This thing works wonderful. We're just gonna go ahead and throw that in there. And it's a 13 millimeter. You can impact that down, because if not, you gotta have someone hold it if you're just gonna use a ratchet. All right, so what I usually do is just tighten it down with a impact. Otherwise, you can have a friend hold it here and get it with the wrench.